Hi everybody, I'm Melissa. Welcome to CloudMom. So excited to be talking about this terrific baby carrier today on CloudMom. This is the Boba soft structured baby carrier. I have another video where I go into all the features of the Boba, and this video is about how to position and carry your baby in the front carry position with the Boba. So we're going to be walking through that right now. So step number one with this is to place the carrier along the upper portion of your hips depending on your height, and you really want it to be very tight. So you're going to make sure that the tag is in with this carrier, and because my baby is going to be carried on my front, I'm going to have the tag on my front part. And remember, I've got this great clasp in the back that has dual adjustability, so I'm going to turn around and show you guys how I'm going to adjust that in the back. So I'm going to place the carrier here along the upper portion of my hips. I'm going to snap it in here, and I'm going to pull from both sides to make sure this is as tight as possible. Tight. That is the mantra with all of these baby carriers for safety purposes, so you really want this to be tight. Okay guys, pull in on both sides. Okay, so here I am, and interestingly enough, if you're sort of out for the day with your baby and you find that your baby's already walking or crawling and they want to get in and out of the carrier a lot, you can just kind of go around like this and pretend it's like a fun, funky apron and not worry about taking this middle strap off all the time. This is the first thing you're going to do, and when you do this, you don't carry your baby, you don't have your baby with you. You do this first, you get it all worked out. Another thing I would do before I even picked up my baby is make sure that I'm happy with where my straps are. I actually like to leave them on the looser setting. Again, the way you're going to loosen them is by lifting up on this little piece here and pulling, and it has dual adjustability. But for me, it's easier to have them on a looser setting, get my baby into position, and then tighten. Now I'm going to get my baby. Here he is. Peace, love, rock and roll, and baby carriers, and very cute too. Okay, so the main thing with your baby and the baby carrier is that you want to make sure he's in the correct squatted position. And this means that his knees are going to be slightly higher than his bum. Some people even refer to it as a 93-degree angle. With a newborn, he will still be in this squatted position. And as the baby gets older, he'll be able to have his legs sit outside the carrier in a 90-degree angle like this. So you're going to make sure your baby's in this nice position, okay? I'm fiddling here, so I'm taking my hand off the baby's upper back and neck, but don't do that with your newborn. You're always going to be supporting the neck and the back. Now, when you're putting on your carrier, what you're going to be doing, rather than thinking about putting your baby into the carrier, you're going to be smoothing the carrier over your baby. So I've got my hip situation all worked out here. I'm supporting my baby, I'm supporting their neck, and I'm just going to smooth the carrier over my baby. So here I am. You see I smooth the carrier over my baby. My first armrest is here. I'm going to place it over that arm. Okay, I'm holding my baby and I'm supporting his neck the whole time. Now I'm turning this way. I'm taking my second armrest like this and I'm smoothing it on. There's two more steps here. I can tighten these straps so that you know your baby is nice and tight and secure before you turn to tightening. See, I'm tightening this strap just by pulling down. So the baby's nice and tight and secure before you take this piece here and snap it into place. So here I go, and this is that great piece that moves up and down on the Boba. Duck. Dual adjustability, I'm gonna snap in. Okay. So here's my baby. This is so comfortable at this point. If he's a newborn, again, he's in like this. If he's older, his legs are going to be able to go out like this. A couple safety things. You want to make sure there's always a flow of air to your baby. His head doesn't have to be turned to the side. Sometimes he might be like this, but you want to make sure you have that nice flow of air. And you want to make sure the baby is high and tight. Most times with carriers, the problem is that they're not tight enough. 99% of the time, that's the issue. So you can always tighten, and it really should be so secure so that he's high and tight, and you have this rule with carriers called the kissing rule. You can easily lean down and kiss your baby. Okay, so here's my baby. He's very comfortable. I also have this removable headpiece, which is terrific if it's sunny or if I'm nursing, and I'm going to show you guys in another video how to nurse in the Boba. And I'm going to show you guys how to take off your baby from the Boba, okay? So again, main thing here is you're going to safely take your baby off from the upper portion of the Boba, and then you're going to take off your hip part. You don't have to do that while you have your baby on there, okay? So my baby's here nice and tight. I'm going to turn around. I've got this piece here, which I'm going to unsnap like that. I go back, one hand is on my baby at all times, especially if he's small, I'm supporting his neck. I take off this arm strap. I take off this arm strap. I just sort of let the carrier fall down while holding my baby, and then I put my baby in a safe place, and I'll be right back. Bye, Fredo. Here I am, and now all I have to do is take off my waist part, and I'm all done. I have a couple other videos on the Boba, on back carrying on the Boba, nursing on the Boba, and the features of this really terrific carrier, so check those all out. Thanks so much for watching CloudMom.com, and see you guys next time.